Hello, I just want to say hello to my grandbabies, Iyanna and Imani. I have another bedtime story for you. Again, I chose to do an African fable, just like last time. So I hope you enjoy this story about why Anansi has 8 thin legs. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there lived a spider named Anansi. Anansi's wife was a very good cook, but always Anansi loved to taste the food that others in the village made for themselves and for their families. One day, he stopped by Rabbit's house. Rabbit was his good friend. "There are greens in your pot," cried Anansi excitedly. Anansi loved greens. "They are not quite done," said Rabbit, "but they will soon be. Stay and eat with me." "I would love to, Rabbit, but I have some things to do," Anansi said hurriedly. If he waited at Rabbit's house, Rabbit would certainly give him jobs to do. "I know," said Anansi. "I'll spin a web. I'll tie one end around my leg and one end to your pot. When the greens are done, tug on the web and I'll come running." Rabbit thought that was a great idea, and so it was done. "I smell beans," Anansi sniffed excitedly as he ambled along. "Delicious beans, cooking in a pot." "Come eat our beans with us," cried the monkeys. "They are almost done." "I'd love to, Father Monkey," said Anansi. And again Anansi suggested that he would spin a web with one end tied around his leg and one end tied to the big bean pot. Father Monkey thought that was a great idea. All his children thought so too. And so it was done. "Hey, I smell sweet potatoes," Anansi sniffed happily as he ambled along. "Sweet potatoes and honey, I do believe." "Anansi," called his friend Hog, "my pot is full of sweet potatoes and honey. Come share my food with me." "Oh, I would love to," said Anansi. And again Anansi suggested he spin a web, and with one end tied around his ankle, he would also tie the other end to the sweet potato pot. His friend Hog thought that was a great idea, and so it was done. By the time Anansi arrived at the river, he had one web tied to each of his 8 legs. "This was a wonderful idea," Anansi told himself proudly. "I wonder whose pot will be ready first." Just then Anansi felt a tug at his leg. "Ah," said Anansi, "that is the web string tied to Rabbit's greens." He felt another little tug, and another. Anansi was pulled 3 ways at once. "Oh dear," said Anansi as he felt the fourth web string pulling. Just then he felt the fifth web string tug, and then the sixth, and the seventh, and the eighth. Anansi was pulled this way and that as everyone pulled on the web strings at once. His legs were pulled thinner and thinner and thinner. Anansi rolled quickly into the river. When all the webs had washed away, Anansi pulled himself painfully up on the shore. "Oh my, oh my," sighed Anansi. "Perhaps that was not such a good idea after all." And to this day, Anansi the spider has 8 very thin legs, and he never got any food that day at all. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, and maybe you can understand now why sometimes it's not good to be greedy, because you can get more than what you ask for. Good night and pleasant dreams.